Thank you for joining us today on 344 Live, where sometimes we just like to reconnect with old friends. Please take a moment to support the job search of Aaron Kennan. He's an experienced freelancer looking for a full-time role in digital marketing, advertising, or media. And I want to say welcome to 344 Live, episode 33 with Blair Sharp. And I got to tell you, whoever's here, if anybody's here with us this afternoon, we almost didn't make it.
It was very close.
Holy smokes. Man, I mean, we've got glitches galore. So that is the nature of this particular brand of LinkedIn. You know, it is, man, it's
fun, isn't it?
It can be fun. I got to tell you, it's, I'm trying to join live on my, there we go. Okay, great. So you and I have a limited audience right now, which is totally fine. And I wouldn't expect anything else given the glitch factor today.
Right.
So this is your very first live show, like your very first experience being a guest.
Yes, this is my first time live on LinkedIn. I've been live on Instagram a lot, but never on LinkedIn.
Okay. Well, then, I don't know. Is Instagram more stable, less stable, glitchy? I don't know.
It's pretty okay. It was pretty, I never really had a lot of issues. Yeah.
Okay. Well, guess what? Welcome to LinkedIn.
Right, exactly.
Where it's like, oh, you have no audio? Okay, well, we're going to do this. Oh, wait, that didn't work. Let's do this. Oh, wait, that didn't. I mean, so yeah, we're just rolling with it. Okay. Now we got a couple people hanging out with us. We got Nathan and Gretchen. So I'm going to turn on the chat on the canvas, and I hope that that they just continue to make some comments for us, because that's where the love is, right? When people show up and give us some comments. So Blair, you and I don't know each other. I know that your dad, your dad was a basketball guy, right?
Yep.
I got that. And you like cheese. And
I like cheese. Yeah.
Your mom, you're a mom and you live in Minnesota, and you're a freelance writer for publications that, like most of us at some point along the way, have heard of.
Yeah.
Probably. So okay, let's start there. Let's start with the classic good old American. And what do you do?
Yeah.
how do you make money? Right.
Great question. Yeah.
That is why we're here after all.
I am a writer. I actually just started writing for work, is what I call it. Last October. I had been writing for years before that, but it was more just like for fun and kind of one-off things. But I actively started looking for clients and regular, work last fall. But I also work at the Mayo Clinic. I'm in Rochester, Minnesota.
Okay.
So I work at the Mayo Clinic, and I'm not officially part-time, but I'm pretty much working part-time hours because I have a really flexible supervisor. So, and there what I do is I'm a psychometrist. You don't know what I know. No one ever knows what that means.
That is that is not part of my
psychometrist. Yeah. Okay. So I administer thinking tests to patients.
Okay.
Yeah, like memory, attention, problem solving, language, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, and I've been there 9 years next month.
Okay. How did you? Okay, now we're gonna dive into that for a second.
Mental health and like psychology, like all my jobs have led to like, I mean, I write a lot of mental health. I do a lot of mental health writing. Like that's one of my like areas, right? So I think it's just weird how, or not weird. It's it makes sense. Like my whole like journey has led to this writing, which is like what I actually really like to do, and who knew,
Okay. So psychometrist by most of the day,
okay. Yeah,
or kind of, all right, by training or whatever. Okay, so that's cool. So then that got you into the mental health world, and you've always liked to write, and so then you've created a freelance offer that you have been, it sounds like, pretty successful at. Like so name off some of the brands for those who don't know. So we've got Gretchen on 2 platforms today, which is amazing. All right, so anyway, so remind us of what those pubs are.
So I'm pretty regularly write for The Bump, which is a parenting publication. I also have written for Insider and Parents.com, Scary Mommy, I have a regular client, which is Recovery Unplugged. It's a treatment center, and I think they have places in Florida, Texas, Tennessee, Virginia. I don't know if I'm forgetting any, but that's my main client. So I do
Okay.
blogs for them,
Yeah.
some social media, and with my day job, my sometimes day job, when I say I'm booked,
Mhm.
it might not mean booked for somebody else, right? Because I have like more different income, right? So
Yeah.
like I'm not this like hustle, like I'm writing 17 blogs a week
Yeah.
freelance writer, which
Yeah.
I love. Like I
Yeah.
love kind of easy, like if I can keep up with this, that would be great. But yeah, so lots of a variety. I do a lot of
Okay.
social media ghostwriting now too, so
Okay.
can't
You're
tell you
just all,
much
you're all
else
over the
about
place.
that.
So that's a thing too. So,
Yeah.
um, all right. So I want to talk about that for a minute, but I originally, like I said in the post that I put up to, to schedule us, I was like,
Yep.
hey, it was something about cheese, and then it was the cheese emoji, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then
Yeah.
sharp cheese. So it's like, oh, that's so rad. And then you said you didn't make that connection. Like you didn't. I can't. I'm having a hard time believing that. Is that true?
If what? Say that again.
The connection between sharp and
Oh, yeah. Like I didn't even think of that at first. Were you the one who said that to me? I can't remember.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I guess Sharp." It's my married name, So,
Okay.
yeah, it's funny.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So enough of that. So you're writing for these cool sort of parenting magazines. Now, do you mostly focus on like mental health as like how to identify like or how to deal with it as a parent if your kid is or how to like your own stuff? I mean,
No, I would say the mental health and the parenting stuff is separate. Like
okay.
I kind of do whatever the bump gives me, like today they just sent me another assignment writing about like toddlers, tips for getting toddlers dressed. Like, right? So it's just like random stuff.
Okay.
And then the mental health stuff. So I'm 5 years alcohol free. I just got 5 years in February.
Okay.
And so that's kind of where like the mental health stuff, the recovery, working for that treatment center kind of came from. So a lot of like
Okay.
recovery and alcohol free stuff. And then it kind of goes into mental health as a whole and wellness. And I'm just
Okay.
interested in all that stuff. So
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about how you get the gigs. Like how did you set that up? Like did they just I mean they couldn't have just like appeared, right?
it feels like that some days. And I always say like, oh, it feels so like it was like it just happened, but there's a lot of like hard work behind the scenes, right? That like I
Yes.
just feel like it's not hard work because it seems like it comes easy. But so I I'm not active there anymore on Instagram, this alcohol-free Instagram account with like 18,000 followers.
Wow.
And yeah, so in like about 2 years is how far I got up to that. And then I found LinkedIn in
Okay.
September of last year. So I've only been on LinkedIn since September.
Okay.
I just hit 5K today.
Well, look at that.
That's
See?
exciting. We can
See?
celebrate that. I don't really
Yeah.
care, but like 5K is kind of cool, right? Like, I
It
mean,
is cool. Yeah.
whatever. So, but anyway, so the alcohol-free Instagram gave me a lot of social proof, right? So when
Yeah.
I DM'd this treatment center and said,
Mhm.
"Hey, are you looking for a writer?" They were like, "Actually, yeah, we are." And they already knew who I was, right? So I
Nice.
had been sharing articles there. I've already done a lot of writing. So that happened pretty easily and quick. And I'm very thankful for that because I love writing for them. They're very flexible,
Yeah.
and just easy to work with. So,
Okay.
as far as
Okay.
the parenting ones, I started with just like pitching different publications.
Yeah.
Before I actually was regularly writing, I was just pitching. Like I would see, I'm on some newsletters that send out like who's looking for certain topics, right? And then you like write a pitch, email it to an editor. I did some like cold emailing. So the bump I actually got because I emailed. So the Knot is a wedding website, and they
Yeah.
were looking. That editor was looking for writers, and I was like, I planned a wedding once. I can
Yeah.
write about weddings.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah. Right
so
on.
I was like, I could write about a wedding. So like, I just emailed the editor and was like, hey, here's some relevant articles that have nothing to do with weddings,
Yeah. 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 Okay. Okay.
And then
Okay.
they
So
sent me the editor's name at the bump because they're connected. So
okay.
I just
Gotcha.
got connected. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So I'm pretty sure, and if I can speak for a lot of these people in here, I don't know if you know Gretchen and Nathan and Wendy.
A few people, yeah.
But these are my good friends, right? These
Yep.
people like Adam Spock, right? These are my allies, all right? It's my squad. And
Yeah.
so if I can speak for them and myself, right? So we're pretty much just LinkedIn files. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't really know about, and maybe Wendy might have an angle, but let me just say that we're pretty much just here.
Yeah.
Okay. And so your experience of having been on Insta, right? And now here, okay,
Right.
that's not a story that we know about, really.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm really curious to hear, like, there's all this complaining right now about how reach is down. And I was actually just floating through all my, I was trying to seed this little plugin called Authored Up, which is really fun and cool.
I love that.
Okay. Well, in order to get the stats, you have to actually scroll through all your content manually because it runs locally. So they don't burn your request.
Yeah.
Anyway, you got to scroll through all your content. So I'm scrolling through my content and I'm looking. And I'm about a year back now. And it takes a while, all right? Yeah. And I'm looking at like this action of like my journey here, right? And so how has it been for you to like, now, are you mostly here or are you still on Insta?
Yeah. No, my Instagram followers are dropping by like the thousands. Like they're just going away.
Okay.
I really am not there. I only go over there to like check my messages. And yeah, so I'm not I just can't. It's hard for me to do multiple things. Like I'd rather do one thing really well. And LinkedIn is really great for writing. Instagram is more visual, obviously. Yeah. So and I'm not really like connecting with the people I want to connect with, like my fellow writers and creators on Instagram. It was more the alcohol-free community, sober people, that kind of thing, which is great, but I just it's not for me really anymore. So
Okay. And so it's more to really explore this writing profession that you're building up. And when did you say you start? Like just last fall? Like
in September 21st.
Okay, well that was your LinkedIn initiation, right? So
yeah, and I have been on here daily since. I mean, posted daily. I might have missed a couple Sundays or whatever, but otherwise daily since September. So
yeah, all right. So I see you here all over the place now. And it's fun, super fun. Like you totally got you totally nailed the whole thing. I've been jamming on that post that you did about the things not to do.
Yeah.
So you were did you participate in Social Saturday very much, or was that part of your, do you even know what I'm talking about when I say that?
Like when people share, like to connect with other people, right?
On Saturday, where's a lot of like intentional.
I've seen them. I might have been tagged in some, but no, not really.
Okay. So there's this whole contingent of humans out here who met and kind of became friends through that experience. And so there's another contingent of humans who have some disdain for that, whatever that was. Right.
Yeah.
And it was mega popular over the summer and then kind of started to peter out last fall and has largely kind of fizzled out now. But pretty much everybody here in this room who's chatting with us now or who's leaving comments, I met through that construct. So I guess what we're all kind of dealing with right now is like, what happened to our traffic? Like what happened to our reach? Why is that? Why did that change? Because over the summer it was really, really huge. And so back to your post about like what not to do, I actually published an ebook. And this was back in July, a couple of them actually. And it was really similar, right? Really similar in terms of like, these are the things that I've learned what to do and not to do, blah, 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 over, and so it's been fun to actually kind of hit your post as a refresh in terms of like, yeah, this is like, okay, these are true. This is Blair's experience, with that stuff. And then to go crazy. So that one thing I added, I don't know if you saw it because notifications are so nut house.
Right.
That the thing that drives me absolutely bonkers beyond bonkers is when you reply to somebody who pitch slaps you.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, okay, so you pitch slap me. Okay, fine. Now I'm going to reply to you because what you said was actually, I don't know, worth replying to.
Yeah.
And then they don't reply. They don't like, then they just ghost. And I'm like, what the bloody hell is
Yeah.
that about? Like, what are you serious?
Did you see my post? I got blocked when I told somebody no, that I didn't want their free offering.
Yes. Okay. That was you. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was so dumb. Like what the, what?
And this, I had like talked with this person before. This wasn't just like a person that was like random. I mean, they're random, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was very weird. Like I was like, no thank. I was really nice. I'm never mean. I'm like, no thanks. Like I don't need that,
Yeah.
but thank you. Like
Yeah.
I'll pass. And they're
Like,
just
like,
like, and then the next day I just looked and it was like blocked. And then it was like, then there was like a couple of messages that said, oh, so you don't like free things or something? And I was
yeah.
like thinking to myself, like, no, I just didn't need it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the other one was like, you're my first no. I'm like, okay. Like,
Okay.
it doesn't make me want to do it. Like,
Yeah. I don't need to be
what?
blocked.
Now I can't, even if I really wanted to. I don't know.
Man.
I just like
Okay.
don't understand why you would do that, because the connections are so important. You know what I mean? The people that we make connections with, because I've gotten jobs through that and just made other connections that are super valuable and met people to bounce ideas off of and strategize and all this fun stuff. So
Yeah.
it's really about engaging and making those connections. So
Well, and now here we are on your very first LinkedIn Live on the last week of the 344 Live, because I'm, gonna sort of see what I think about this thing after I let it sit down for a little bit, because why not? And I think it's important to step back, work on the business instead of just in the business, as they say. And Evan Miller is here, and I don't know Evan right now.
yes, I know Evan. Hi,
okay,
Evan.
So Evan is your ally. Awesome, I love it. So I would love, not that my opinion matters, but but that story of like other platforms is I think could be interesting.
Yeah.
If you're ever like scratching for content ideas, not that I get the impression that you do scratch for them, because it seems like you're pretty
Some
on it.
days.
But I would like to know more about that, right? I would like to know more about like here's what it's like to be, a hitter on Instagram. This is what that reality is, and how that works. And if you're thinking about going over there, these are the things you need to watch for, or best practice. Because I bet most people who are here don't know, right? Like you said, like you can't do most. I mean, to do LinkedIn in a serious way is a full-time job. I mean, it can be. So, so that's there. Now, the last thing, we are out of time, and I haven't really gotten anything other than just like because you said, you're not like pitching a product.
I also like talk a lot, so.
Well, me too, in case you didn't notice. Oh man. So, all right. I did in my little warm-up thing, but this was like a month ago. I said a tip of the day.
Oh yeah.
Have you thought about that?
I did think about it.
Okay.
Earlier today.
Do you want to do that? We don't have to, but
my was just like keep going, like just do the thing, because I have a hard time with like overthinking things. Like when I think of a new idea or a project, like I just like think and want to make everything about it good, but then it prevents it from being put out, right? So like just get the thing out, like get going on LinkedIn, get going on Instagram. You can perfect it later. You can deal with your profile later. Like you don't have to get everything like optimized. Just like do it. Just start writing, right?
I love that. So, that's a great tip for the day. I mean, it's because I'm going to say it's that 0 to non-zero action step, right? That is, it's like, do something. My kid didn't want to go to school today, and I'm like, this is not what you want. You just go do the thing. You go face the pain. Move into the pain, and the pain will dissipate, and then otherwise just be laying in bed with me hassling you all day long.
Right.
Okay. All right. So I will go ahead and I will extract our tip of the day, and what we'll do is we'll wrap this up with a little YouTube short, because there's a bunch of us here who are playing with that right now. As a as a kind of a thing to do. I know Adam Spock, one of my buddies, is okay. I will say this, and then we will stop. But the fun part about putting things on YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
Versus just LinkedIn, right? So LinkedIn's reactions are all positive. So it's either some version of positive except for ignore, right? So you either get nothing or positive. YouTube Shorts, you get right?
That's true. I never thought of that.
Yeah. So Adam, he does training. He's no boring training guy, right? So he posted something and he got like six thumbs down and 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
So yeah. So,
I wish there was like a comment. Well, there is a comment, but like, please tell me why
or like, can I call you, please?
Right.
Can we hang out?
Please.
Yeah. So
but you have to be ready for that. You have to be ready that like even any of this stuff online, anywhere, like anyone at any time could like disagree with you and just tear you to shreds, right? I mean, I try not to post any like controversial topics for that reason, but yeah.
Awesome.
You never know.
Well, welcome to this corner of LinkedIn where tons of my friends have showed up, and I just want to say, like, I've thoroughly enjoyed hanging out with you on your content and in the comments and how responsive you are. And it seems like, hey, this could be fun, right? For a while and maybe for a long while. So here's to it. I want to say thanks to everybody who has come out today. We're 5 minutes over because it's the last week of the show for now, and I'm not policing it that hard. So with that, Blair, don't run away. I'm going to go ahead and do a count up timer. Okay. And then we can unwind just a bit before we turn off the show. So with that, everybody, I want to say thanks for coming out. Have a great afternoon, and you know where to find me. Okay. And Blair too. So you know where to find her. All right, everybody. Take care.